The best handheld console that I've used this year isn't a console at all. If you game on mobile even casually, this thing is absolutely wild. An 8-inch display in your pocket, flagship power, and let's be honest, a form factor that makes the Switch look a little clunky. But how does the Fold 7 handle gaming on a day-to-day basis? Of course, the biggest draw here is that internal screen. When it's unfolded, you're looking at an 8-inch dynamic AMOLED display with 120Hz, HDR10 plus support, and LTPO tech. This means it ramps down all the way down to 1 Hz when you're idle to preserve battery life. When gaming, this display is just gorgeous. I mean, the colors pop, the blacks are inky, and that extra real estate means that HUDs in games like COD Mobile, Pokémon Unite, and others just don't feel crammed. You have enough space to move the sticks around and everything to kind of put everything in a position that just feels very natural, and you can still see what's going on in the whole screen instead of just covering half of it with your thumbs and the controls. But here's the thing, it's still a squarish aspect ratio, which some games are updated and stretch very nicely, while others just slap black bars and others just kind of ruin everything. Like Rocket League Mobile on this is just kind of a mess. It's not great. Meanwhile, other games like Call of Duty work really well, and even this new one that I've been playing, Moko or whatever, just works fantastically on this thing. The great thing is that this has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, which is the same chip that we got in the S25 Ultra. It's tried and tested. It works fantastic. It's a beast. We know it is. So you can max out basically every game right now and it's going to just work. And if you do want to play on the front screen, the aspect ratio actually works really well for games as well. Since it's not a thin bar like previous years, it's actually kind of just a normal phone size. It is a little tall, but it still works perfectly to play games on that main screen. Now the real test, of course, is sustained gaming. Like 15-20 minutes in, 1 hour in, does it throttle? And the answer is yeah, a little. I mean, it heats up a little bit near the cameras. It's definitely not like ouch hot to the touch when you touch them, but it's like, oh, okay, that's significantly hotter than the rest of the body. The nice thing is that that's not in the area where you actually hold the phone while you're gaming, but then of course you're gonna expect some performance dips and battery will start draining a lot quicker once this phone is hot. But really, if you're playing like Fortnite at 90 frames per second and this thing gets hot, you're still going to be running at over 60 frames per second. That battery is just going to be disappearing a little bit quicker. And yeah, like let's just get over the whole battery thing. It's 4400 milliamps, so it's not great, especially when you are gaming on the internal screen as opposed to the external screen, because it's just so much larger and such a better screen overall. So you can expect to like maybe play like 3 to 4 hours of something like Genshin on max. But if you play games like maybe Stardew Valley and stuff, you're going to get a couple more hours on top of that. Basically though, since you're also probably going to watch some movies or, you know, use TikTok and all these things, you're probably gonna have to plug in halfway through the day or just carry a cord with you, especially if you're on a plane, on a flight or something. You're just gonna keep this thing plugged in the whole time. Worth noting that Samsung is still capping the charging at 25 watts wired and wireless, so yeah, just keep that cable around.
So after you've crushed a gaming session on your phone, what if you could level up your productivity just as hard? Meet the Notta Memo. It's the world's first all-in-one AI voice recorder. Recording, transcription, summaries, translation, all powered by AI. With up to 30 hours of recording, 2,000 hours of audio storage, and a 28-day standby, the Notta Memo is ready for meetings, calls, interviews, and even brainstorming sessions. You can switch between a phone call recording and on-site recording with a simple slide switch, and it just instantly starts recording all those phone calls. Heck, you can even go into WhatsApp, Telegram, any of your favorite voice apps and do it there as well, and it just works perfectly. You can transcribe and translate in real time across 58 languages. So right here, for example, I can just click on translate and then choose Spanish, and it's gonna basically instantly translate everything into Spanish, and I can read both the English version and Spanish version right here super easily and compare the two. You can even access everything you record right on your dashboard on the Notta website from any computer. And what's even better is that at any time you can send these notes to Notion, Google Docs, OneNote, and even Slack. So one perfect use case for me is that I'll be watching videos, I'll just let this thing record, and then I'll send all the notes over to Notion so that I have that for later so that I can bounce ideas off of. Basically, you can share, sync, and collaborate all in one seamless workflow. So when you're done gaming on your phone, pull out the Notta Memo, your AI-powered meeting assistant. a transcription expert, and productivity booster. Thanks to Notta for sponsoring this video.
Now the speakers on this are good, clear highs, decent mids. There's basically no bass though. Like it's just not the ideal experience for gaming if you actually care about audio. Just, connect some Bluetooth headphones and do that. And talking about Bluetooth, you can of course connect Xbox controllers, PS5 controllers, and even a Backbone 1 controller. I have one of those and it's a little sketchy to get it on this, but it does work, especially since the device isn't top heavy or bottom heavy. So it just works overall. Like almost the Backbone basically weighs as much of the phone. Like this still works well, even though it looks a little odd here on the screen. But yeah, this is perfect for Xbox Game Pass, GeForce Now, anything like that. If you have a controller, you can connect it, and I think you're really gonna love that internal screen. And the cool thing with the screen is that there are some cool things you can do, like some retro emulation. So if you want to do some mini kind of DS style emulation, you can, and it looks super cool and it feels really cool, very futuristic. It just feels like something that kid me would go absolutely crazy for. Now, to get things like this running, you are going to have to spend some time getting it to run. It's not going to be just like plug and play. But once you get everything running, it's going to work perfectly. So any emulation you want to run on this, it's going to run. It's really just about how much you're going to tinker with it to get it to work. And that's kind of the gist of this whole phone. You kind of hit some kind of walls sometimes because some things aren't updated. Some things aren't even ready for foldables yet. So it's about kind of just figuring these things out. Look, I have tablets, a bunch of slab phones, and I kept coming back and back to playing the games this week on this phone. There was just something so fun about opening the big screen and having the game kind of just pop up large, and then when you're done playing the game, closing the game, and then having this phone fit back in your pocket. It's really something special, but it's not perfect. Of course, you have that crease in the middle, which you do stop noticing while playing, so don't think that it's a big thing, because it's not. The biggest thing here really is just the lack of optimization for the aspect ratio of the phone. And the even bigger thing is the over $1,800 price tag for this. It's basically the most expensive handheld you'll ever own. I mean, you could buy every single gaming console out there and still have money left over. Or you could buy a flagship phone, a Switch, and still have money left over for a tablet or a Steam Deck. Like, this is a very expensive phone. And there's also no S Pen support this year, which is not a huge loss for gaming overall, but that just means you can't use really like stylus-based titles or get that one-to-one DS vibe. So the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is secretly the best gaming phone. Honestly, like it's powerful, it's versatile, and nothing else feels quite like unfolding your screen mid-game while holding this super ultra thin phone that is just kind of just mind-blowing to use, and it's hard to explain. You gotta go check it out. Even if you don't want one, go feel it out in a store. Overall though, it is a luxury still. The prices still need to come down, and we're a couple of years from that happening. If you're only casually into gaming, there's plenty of flagships that do 90% of what this does, and they do it just as well, and maybe without even as much headaches, because you don't have to kind of tinker with so many things. But if you're deep into mobile games, emulation, cloud streaming, and things like that, maybe you would want something like this as your main phone and also gaming machine, because hey, you can actually just put this dang thing in your pocket and take it absolutely everywhere. Games are fun, and owning this thing is fun.